The first Fire Emblem Engage trailer recently launched, and as it turns out, the leaks were real. The protagonist is indeed colored similar to a tube of toothpaste and looks like a VTuber, and the art style has initially received mixed reviews because of its colorful flamboyance. But to be honest, I don't really care too much about that. What I actually care about is the gameplay, and I have reason to suspect that Fire Emblem Engage will be a return to form to the traditional Fire Emblem formula that Fire Emblem Three Houses broke away from in dramatic fashion. And here's why I think this. First of all, the weapon triangle is back. Fire Emblem Three Houses removed the weapon triangle for the most part and also had few to no weapon restrictions by class, something I think was a horrible mistake. We can see in this trailer that there are advantage arrows marking that Alir, our minty fresh protagonist, suffers a disadvantage by using a sword against a lance. The fact that this core mechanic is back is a good sign, and there's also signs that class-based weapon restrictions are back as well. Looking into the character screen, we can see a character's weapon ranks, and some of the low-level characters can only use one type of weapon. Another logical deduction we can draw from this is that changing class will no longer be so freeform and easy, giving characters their niches and roles back, instead of just making everyone a Wyvern Lord. Second, the maps look like they are much more tightly designed as a strategy RPG map from the ground up, with actual terrain, a smaller size, and more intention. We can see from this mini-map the presence of villages, rivers, small choke points, etc. It's not like in Three Houses where they just drew a map and then painted tiles onto it, leaving most of it an empty, boring mess. I mean, come on, like, do you remember the second map for Three Houses with the 70 bandits? Come on. We can see villages, we can see distinguishable terrain, and even a fort that has a character standing on top of it. These are all good signs that Engage will have a map design more in line with games from the GBA era. Third, it looks like there's a Jegan character. One of the characters featured in the trailer is an old dude named Vander, who appears to be a level 1 paladin with substantial stats compared to the main character, with 40 HP versus 24, meaning that he is likely a pre-promote and a Jegan. Jegans are strong early game units that facilitate early maps and the training of your other characters, and are a core part of traditional Fire Emblem design that's often been a point of discussion for most games in the series. The reappearance of this character archetype means that it is likely that the early game will be designed around them in a similar way to the older games. Fourth, all of the characters' basic stats appear to be on the lower end, possibly indicating a return to having lower numbers and reducing the numbers to more calculable values, unlike Three Houses, which had rampant stat inflation of all sorts. Finally, I believe that Engage is leading more into traditional story tropes, obviously with some variations, modifications, and evolutions, but it does seem like a more classic, traditional, defeat the evil dragon story as opposed to a complicated political story like in Three Houses. And with this story structure, this probably means that it will only have one route, just like most Fire Emblem games, meaning that we probably won't have to replay maps to see new content, which is a relief. This will also be a great benefit to the story, as large route splits have not reflected well on the stories in past Fire Emblem games. All of the things I've mentioned are good signs for the gameplay of Fire Emblem Engage possibly being pretty good, though of course only time will tell. Regardless, I find the idea that they're going back to the original formula to be a good thing for the future of the series. But what do you think? Do you think Fire Emblem Engage should try to innovate more, like Three Houses did? Or do you think that Three Houses changed too much and became unrecognizable? Let me know down in the comments below. Please remember to like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this, because I'm going to make so many videos along these lines. This is the first time a new Fire Emblem game has launched while my channel was active, so I'm excited, and you should be too.